Hey guys, I'm Sean, and today I have with me the Dart Tag Fury Fire Blaster. Now, what this video is about is I'm going to be showing you how to get out those pesky air restrictors. Now, the air restrictors in this blaster, I'm assuming are in the barrel assembly, considering it's a rotating barrel assembly. This has 10 rounds and should be pretty easy to get into. I can already see that there's 3 screws on either side of the barrel. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open this blaster up and we're going to get started. Okay guys, so I've already taken all the screws out of this blaster. There's no need to worry about placing them anywhere specific because they're all the same size. Now originally I took this screwdriver here, which is just basically an adaptable screwdriver for any size screw, but I found that in this back bit here I needed a screw with a much deeper bit, I guess you could say, to get in the back there because it's a deeper point. But after that you can just take any flathead screwdriver and you just want to pry open the body until you get the this top plate off here. But you can go ahead, there's nothing in that side, so just go ahead and take it away. What you want to make sure you do is you keep track of this small orange spring, or this small spring and orange tactical bit there, along with this extra dart holder that goes in this bottom handle here. Just go ahead and set those two to the side. Then you'll see the main portion of the blaster, which is basically the plunger here, spring, catch, and then this barrel assembly. Now in order to get this out, it shouldn't be too hard. I actually forgot to take the darts out. I'll worry about that later. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to go, let's see here, what do I want to do first? First, go ahead and get the spring off of this white bit, which shouldn't be too hard. I should have already done this, but I haven't. There it goes. Just go ahead and snap it off. I personally like to take the plunger out of my blasters when I work on them because the spring will fly somewhere if I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and take the plunger out. Then if you go to the trigger mechanism, there's this black rod here. What you want to go ahead and do is pull back this little orange tab and then pull out this black piece from that little orange tab and just pull up until the black piece comes out, which is kind of hard to do backwards. Let me go ahead, there it goes. And then just take that out. I'll show you how to put that back in later. And then the barrel assembly should lift free along with the priming mech. Go ahead and all you got to do is pull off this white piece. Odds of you breaking it are very small. It just comes off. Set that to the side and then you'll have your barrel assembly. Now we're going to go ahead, I forgot to take the screws out of this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that along with the darts. And I'll show you how to take the air restrictors out. Alright guys, so I took out the 3 screws that were located in the top here in these 3 screw ports. Now these screws are much longer than the rest of the screws in the blaster, so go ahead and keep those separate. Once you take those 3 out, which is actually, you're going to need the deeper screwdriver for that because it's a very deep screw port. But once you take those out, the top of the barrel should just lift off, or barrel assembly, I'm sorry. Then you have this array of air restrictor / dart seats. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to get rid of one air restrictor, and the rest is up to you on how fast you're going to do it. So, let's just go ahead and take one of these out. What you'll find in one of these assemblies is the following, which is this original dart seat, which also has the dart peg here. You should get this little orange bit that looks like a pizza box bit that goes in like Pizza Hut pizzas so the lid doesn't smash the pizza. I don't know. I saw that on another review. I thought that was a really good point on explaining what it looked like. Then you should get this air restrictor spring. I recommend keeping these just because I find uses for them all the time, like my full barrel drop Maverick Perfection mod. So go ahead and get rid of that pizza box bit and the spring because those aren't going back in the blaster. And then what you want to do is you want to take this bit here, take some wire cutters and snip off this orange rod and go ahead and take that away, and then you're left with this. And the next part is optional. I find it just helpful, but it's kind of hard to do unless you have a tool sort of like mine. This is very, very small and very strong wire cutters, and what I do is I just stick the wire cutters up into these holes here, and then I just snip my way through the these restriction pegs that are in here. And then I just kind of cut it out, so I got a nice big open hole in here for the dart to travel through. Now, what you have to be careful with when you're doing this is warping this outside circle. So I went ahead and took that out, and then this is what I'm left with. Sometimes I'll file down the inside so it's not quite as grippy, because sometimes that'll grab the dart and it won't fire. But that's basically what I'm left with. Like I said, that's optional. You don't have to do it. It doesn't help too much, but I do it just for the sake of it. And then all you have to do is go ahead and take that dart seat and throw it back in the hole that it was originally brought from. Like I said, when I do this, they tend to warp a little, so it takes a little to snap it back in, but once it goes in there, it stays. And you can go ahead and do that for the rest of these, and then we're going to go ahead and reassemble it. So that's it for that, and if you want to reassemble it on your own, you can end the video now, or if you need me to show you how, keep watching, because that's what I'm going to do. Hey guys, here's a quick segment right now just explaining how to put the barrel back together. I found something out while doing this mod, that the barrel only goes back together one way, and it's really important that you see this because you might get frustrated if you don't. Now, if you look on this orange piece, you might find a little tab right on the edge. I'm not sure if you can, yeah, you can see that on the camera now. A little tab right there on the edge of one of the tubes, or barrels, I'm sorry. And then go ahead and take your dart seat, the back of the barrel assembly, and look for a tab next to one of the dart seats. So you can see I've already taken all the air restrictors out. And you just want to line up those two tabs. Well, one's a tab and the one on the barrels is a indent. But once you line those up, the barrels should go together just fine, and then you screw it back together and put it in the blaster. So I just wanted to make that clear, that there was those tabs there, and that's the only way you can get the barrel assembly back together. Okay guys, so I'm finally done putting this blaster together, and I must admit it was a real pain because I got so frustrated with all the little springs in there that I didn't even put the plunger in the right spot, because the front of the plunger should sit in a little slot that I just put it behind and didn't worry about it, and turns out it won't fire like that, so I had to go back in and do it. Another thing that's really weird about putting this blaster back together is the fact that this tactical bit only goes in one way, and by that I don't mean directional wise, I mean if you flip this completely the other way, it won't go in, and I found that really strange, and I did learn that. Now, this blaster primes just as it used to because you didn't change anything about the spring. The air restrictors gone, however, makes it a lot louder, and dry firing your blaster is never recommended, so do not do that. I do it just to explain how loud the blaster is. Now, with any dart, it should get 10 to 15 feet more than it originally was. Demonstration now, it just has a lot more power than it used to, which is what you'll get by removing the air restrictors out of any Nerf blaster. So that's it for the Dart Tag Fury Fire air restrictor removal, and I hope to see you next time, so stay Nerf.